I grew up in Rotherham, which is like a close town to Sheffield. My mum finished college, my dad didn't. My dad was a bricklayer and has managed to build up to being like a construction manager. And my mum, similar sort of path, but for the council, and she's a manager now. I was really competitive at school and good at science, so it was more, right, what's the best thing I could do with science? And then that comes on top of the list, and I'd had kind of positive experiences with healthcare from playing sport and being in like A&E and things like that, and that had kind of opened it up to my view, but I'd never had any experience prior to that. When I first came to medical school, I was probably a little bit worried of whether I'd probably stack up against everyone else. There was obviously going to be people from different backgrounds or more privileged background, and I think people from medical families I probably assumed were going to be at an advantage to me. And I probably felt like that for all the first year and a bit, do I belong here? Is this me? But I think they're kind of natural doubts that everyone has. But once I'd got through the first set of exams and I'd passed and I'd done well, I was a bit more like, oh, right, I've done the first year exams, I've passed, it's okay. And then I felt more natural. I think now I've got to university, especially in my clinical years, being kind of a local student, or particularly probably sounding a little bit northern. When I'm on a ward, if I go up to a patient, I'm like, good afternoon, I'm Tom, I'm a third year medical student. I think when they hear a northern voice or something, there's always a kind of a wink or a smile, and that's it. The mind, they're happy for me to take a history 2 exam in. They seem much more responsive to me as a person, so that might be putting me at a slight advantage, especially on placement. It's just, sometimes it's easier to build a rapport. I think it's important that medical schools, like student load, is representative of society. As obviously as a profession, it's intrinsically part of society, and people, especially kind of GPs and things, some people see it as almost part of the family, that they go to this GP and just unload their problems on it. So I think having a representative medical school is really important. And going through the medical profession, it's just the same.